When I was about 4, my father guilted my mother into being a stay-at-home mom so that he could go to work instead. And he did this by going around to each of us children, there's 4 of us, and I don't recall this, but this is what's been told to me, convinced us to beg her and guilt her into it that way. And part of that was sweetening the pot by adding a dog into the mix. So we all sat down at the family dinner table and begged my mother to become a stay-at-home mom and add a dog to it, which is not exactly what she had wanted, but it worked out in the end. That led to us all piling into the family van, taking what felt like forever car drive to my 4-year-old self into Lancaster. And we came upon a place to purchase a puppy. Now, we arrived, and my mom, knowing that all of the duties were going to end up landing on her anyway, found a perfect dog. Tiny little, I think it was like a Bichon mix, hypoallergenic, non-shedding, wonderful. And so my 4-year-old self was like, this is a perfect time for me to ruin this. And so I knew the job was mine, and my tiny little bladder was perfectly timed, and I could not possibly wait until the paperwork was done. They did not have a bathroom on site, so our whole family had to pack up into the van, drive down the road to the closest gas station so I could relieve myself. And by the time we got back to this location, that puppy was adopted by another mother who was hoping to not have that big of an impact on her daily life by getting a dog. So there weren't many dogs left for us to meet. And when they let out the last round of puppies into this big pen so that we could all play with them and interact and try to pick out our favorite, they all ran out and one jumped directly into my arms. So I think we were on the same page there. She was like, this is a job for us. We're gonna find the perfect home. And from then a bond was born. I got my dog, Kelsie. We named her in the car on the ride home. She was not hypoallergenic at all, which was not my mother's favorite, but she saw that bond that we had. It was immediate. She chose us just as much as we chose her. And we get her home, and within the next 24 hours, she's housebroken. She did not want to go back to that place. She knew that she needed to get her act together so that she could stay with us and have a long life fulfilling us. So we had 16 years with this dog. She was my best friend, my confidant. I cried into her fur so many times. She got me through everything. I was the youngest, so I often felt not neglected, but kind of in the shadows. My siblings had priorities that were a lot bigger than mine because I was the youngest. I was a little kid, and they were growing up and going to sports games and winning things, and I always had Kelsie to talk to and be my friend. And I learned through that process that I should always trust my bladder instincts. It's got good timing, so I should probably honor that. 2, my mom will always pick up the slack. When we inevitably did not want the not-so-fun duties of a dog, she picked those up so that we could have the fun parts. And I realized that if you give a dog an opportunity to take on whatever role you give it, 9 times out of 10, it's going to take on that role. So unfortunately, she did leave us, but she lived a long, fulfilling life. I hope we gave her as much as she gave us, because she was by far the most loyal companion I could have ever had, and I appreciate her for that. She definitely took on additional duties that she did not need to take on. So.